Hi everyone, I'm Maya, the dietitian, nutritionist, and founder of Nutrition Revitalized. And today we're going to be looking at diet to reverse non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, otherwise also known as NAFLD. Now, there are 4 stages of fatty liver disease. The first one is going to be fats accumulating in and around your liver. Second stage is going to be those fats causing inflammation, and that's also known as NASH. And the third stage is this inflammation starting to cause scarring on your liver, otherwise also known as fibrosis, and that's the early stage of scarring. And the more advanced stage is known as cirrhosis. And when cirrhosis is also left unaddressed, that can also increase your risk of developing liver cancer. So we really want to be acting early and detecting early. And up to a certain stage, fatty liver is certainly reversible. To understand more about what causes fatty liver, watch my other video here. Evidence suggests that about a 5% weight loss allows for a reduction in fat in the liver, and about 7% weight loss may resolve the liver inflammation, and anything above 10% is what's really needed to reduce liver scarring. So the American Gastroenterological Association advises that a calorie deficit of about 500 to 1,000 calories from your baseline diet may help with weight loss that's actually effective and significant enough for fatty liver to reduce. Now, this is the case regardless of whether you're someone who is overweight or someone who is lean. Exercise also has a huge role to play in burning of more calories and achieving that calorie deficit, but that's a topic for a different day. The American Gastroenterological Association also suggests that a Mediterranean style of eating is beneficial. So we're not just following a Mediterranean diet as per se on paper, but we want to understand the principles of a Mediterranean style of eating and incorporate that into our current lifestyle and cultural preferences when it comes to food. Let's take a moment to reflect on the fundamentals on what actually happens to the carbs in our diet once we consume them. Let's take breakfast cereals, for example. Once you consume it gets broken down into glucose and fructose. Fructose is exclusively for your liver to use. The liver takes what it needs and sends the rest off to be stored as glycogen. But if glycogen stores are actually maxed out, then the excess gets converted to fats. Now, glucose is for the whole body's use. Different cells actually use glucose. And so the excess glucose gets converted to glycogen as well. But if the capacity is maxed out, the remaining glucose gets converted to fats in the body. And these get stored in the liver. Now, glycogen is stored for a few days, but once it's not really needed, and if your liver realizes that, and if you're not really using it or breaking it down, the liver also converts glycogen into fat, and all of this gets stored in the liver. Now, considering all of this, a low-carb diet is seen as beneficial alongside a moderate protein diet and a high-fiber diet. So, we want to look at our portion sizes. On a plate, we want at least 50% of your plate to be filled with fruits and vegetables for that high fiber component. We want a quarter of your plate to be carbs and the remaining quarter of your plate to be protein. You still need some carbs on your plate because that's what gives you fuel and energy. And the protein's really important so that you don't lose muscle, you lose fat instead. The high fiber component here actually has a lot of benefits. So firstly, it brings about satiety. Fiber takes a really long time to digest. So it gives you that sense of fullness. You're not going to walk away from a meal just because you want a calorie deficit and stay hungry for the rest of the day. You would actually walk away from the meal fairly content because you would feel quite full. And it also delays that sugar release into your blood. So it does not cause a quick spike in your sugars. It's going to allow for fairly stable sugars. And thirdly, the byproduct of fermentation of the fibers in your gut actually releases anti-inflammatory properties that helps you reduce liver inflammation as well. Now, looking at proteins. So this is where the choice of protein is very important. Try and have lots of fish because it has omega-3 benefits, especially if you're choosing sardines, tuna, mackerel, or salmon. The white fishes are great too because they don't have a lot of saturated fat content. We consider them as lean protein, and prawns are good as well. What you really want to be avoiding or limiting is processed meats because they contain a lot of saturated fat, and likewise with red meat. So try and reduce your red meat consumption to 1 to 2 times a week and nothing more than that. And the portion size of how much you have each time really matters. So stick to that ratio of carbs, protein, and fiber. We want a 1:1:2 ratio, with the double quantity being the fiber. Now, other proteins that are great would be plant-based proteins because they don't really have any fat component to it. So for example, legumes, lentils, tofu are great products. Lastly, we're going to be thinking about those carbohydrates. So complex carbs are certainly better. So try and have things like bread, pasta, rice, noodles, potato. These are not quickly broken down in your body like muffins or cookies or biscuits. Multigrain options are certainly better. For example, multigrain wraps, breads, or brown rice pasta. But if that feels a bit too far-fetched for you at this stage and not really practical, what I would suggest is incorporating a little bit of whole grains or millets into your meal. For example, if you're cooking a cup of rice, you could add in a half a cup of quinoa into the rice cooker. The difference is very minimal, the taste doesn't really change, but your body gets the benefits. And that's a tiny little tweak which really makes a difference. Some other things that you can also do as a little icing on top would be avocados. They're rich in omega-3. You could also snack on a handful of nuts, preferably unsalted. The bigger the variety, the better the amount of nutrients that you get from it. And try and use some extra virgin olive oil for your cooking and as a salad dressing even. Now, before you start thinking about taking a liver detox supplement, I want you to remember that our body has a natural ability to detox itself. In fact, our liver is constantly in the process of clearing away so many toxins in our blood and maintains a healthy level of these. So, whenever you think about supplements, I would always urge you to have a chat with your health professional and make sure that it's safe for you, because supplements are always in concentrated dosages. Let me know in the comments below which of these you found interesting and any other questions that you have. Bye for now.